face Mount Olive in 2 games, men and women. Up first, the women's game, featuring North Greenville and Mount Olive. North Greenville comes into this ball game 5-11. Meanwhile, on their last game, they just finished playing Erskine. They hit the century mark, 100 to 86. Grace Sutherland and Justin Mathis, Alan Cahaley on the tech side, Alan Ellis back in the studio with Patrick Brown, and Gabby on the sideline, courtside reporting for us today. So we'll try that out and see how it goes. Just a few seconds until the game is set to begin. We will bring you pre-game ceremonies here as we await the invocation and national anthem. So now we send it courtside for the pre-game festivities.
Dear God, thank you for another day and another game in your face, Jim. We thank you for a day to nationally recognize Martin Luther King Jr. and the great impact he had on the U.S. and in the world. I pray that you bless tonight's game and keep the players free from injury as they go hard in the paint. We love you and thank you for your eternal love for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
It's another Conference Carolinas matchup as North Greenville welcomes Mount Olive to Tigerville, South Carolina. So let's go ahead and take a look at the potential starters for North Greenville tonight. Number 11, Tyler Powers. Number 22, Alicia Hope. Number 25, Emily Wampler. Number 30, Misty Nelson. And number 34, Courtney Williams.
And we'll get you the starters for the Lady Trojans of Mount Olive in just a moment, as they still have their shooters shirts on, so we can't really see their numbers.
So Justin, North Greenville's had a bit of a rough go of it to start the conference schedule. What do they need to do to be able to secure this victory here tonight?
I'm just looking at Mount Olive, and they have some size, so my guess would be they're going to go down in the paint and try and attack the low block. North Greenville doesn't have much size there to go against that, so that's going to be a big key for this game. Limit the damage done in the painted area. That's how you get things done in a ball game.
So let's send it down to Gabby real quick. Gabby, how are things looking down on the court side?
Thanks, guys. The teams look really riled up and pumped to play today. Really excited to see what kind of offense the opposing team brings against our Crusaders.
All right, thank you, Gabby. Just about ready for the tip-off. Once again, a doubleheader between Mount Olive and North Greenville today. The men's program for Mount Olive is nationally ranked number 18 in Division II, 15 and 2 overall. So that will be a very important conference game for North Greenville here tonight.
Mount Olive is no stranger to being nationally ranked in athletics. As remember a couple years ago going to cover the Conference Carolinas tournament, had to go against their top-ranked #1 baseball team up there in Wilson, North Carolina.
So Courtney Williams will head to the tip-off line. She'll go up against number 40, Ariel Johnson for Mount Olive. Other starters on the court, Amiria Zajic. Work on that one a little bit. Number 22, Tamara Harris. And other starters, we'll finish those out as soon as we get underway. Williams and Johnson at the line. The ball's batted up. Powers knocks it down, and Mount Olive eventually rattles it back with Ty Wallace. Now near side immediately firing a three and going over the backboard, number 22, Tamara Harris. And that'll be a turnover back to North Greenville.
A little bit of a jumble up there on the opening tip, as can be expected to start a game.
So now North Greenville get their first chance at it, going from right to left. Number 10, Ty Wallace, another starter for Mount Olive. Number 2, Nia Stiles. Wampler driving in, has to pass back to Williams. Williams will drive in herself, puts it up for 2 points. Yes, North Greenville gets on the board first. They lead it 2-0.
Nice drive to the basket there by Williams. Saw the opening and took it.
Now, Amira Zajic. Number 40, Johnson, top of the key, passes right. Stiles goes underneath to number 10, in for 2 points. Wallace ties it up at 2 between North Greenville and Mount Olive.
See what the Lady Crusaders can do again on this possession.
Now Wampler into front court. She'll have to pass left side to Nelson. Nelson, always a good presence to have underneath. Heads to the right side, hands it off to Powers, a three-point threat. Now Powers cuts it back up top, trying to find space. Goes underneath to Williams. Williams gets around the double team, puts it in, misses the shot. And it's rebounded by Wallace.
3 Trojans were there on the boards, only 1 Crusader in Williams.
Stiles, top of the key. She passes right side to number 22. That's Harris. Now back up top again to Wallace. She goes right side. Left side. Now back near side corner. Stiles shoots for 3. That's no good off the far side of the rim. And Hope gets the rebound for North Greenville. And now Wampler bringing it into front court. Stops for a minute, dials something else up. Still up top, passes right side, Powers. Powers flings a 3 from the far side. That's good.
Nice three-pointer there by Powers. Nothing but nylon.
North Greenville leads it 5-2. Opening couple of minutes here. Top of the key, Johnson. Passes to Stiles. Stiles, top of the key. Passes left side, Harris. Passes back up top again to Stiles, now near side. Now back up top. Stiles trying to go underneath. Nothing doing. North Greenville knocks it away.
North Greenville went in a 2-3 matchup zone, and it worked out right there on that defensive possession.
Wampler, top of the key. Hands off right side. Powers is there. Powers brings it up top. Hands off to Williams. Williams at the free throw line. Flips it to Nelson. Nelson trying to drive in. Has a little bit of a lane. Puts it up and in. Good off the glass.
Nice 7-2 run to open up the ball game for the Lady Crusaders. Probably what Coach Arledge could have drawn up.
Now Stiles passes right side, Harris. Now back up top, Stiles. Going left side to Jazik. Now back near side, Harris. And knocked away by Powers. Powers brings the ball into front court for North Greenville. Passes off right side to Wampler. Wampler trying to get around the defense. Spins, gets double team, loses the ball, flips it to Hope. Hope top of the key for 3. That's no good. And flies in to catch her own rebound and pass back out to Wampler, so North Greenville gets another crack at it.
That's what you call a hustle play right there by Hope.
And now Wampler drives in, has the shot blocked. Powers gets the rebound though. And now Powers underneath the basket, flips it out to Williams for 2. That's good.
Williams, nice 18-foot jump shot from the baseline.
Now North Greenville leads at 9-2. 16:30 left to play in the first half. Stiles brings it near side, passes back up top. Jazik passes left side to Harris. Now back to Jazik, top of the key, back left side. Harris flings a 3, that's no good. Offensive rebound for the Trojans though, gets it back out to Stiles here on the near side. Now she'll go back underneath to Wallace. Wallace, baseline jumper, that one short. Again, Jazik for the rebound, she puts it, no, that's no good for 2. Still fighting for the loose ball. Once again, Mount Olive gets it, and finally it goes in. Number 40, Ariel Johnson gets it to go.
You can see the Lady Trojans keep wanting to attack the paint, but the 2-3 zone put on by the Lady Crusaders are causing them all sorts of fits this far.
3 substitutions waiting on the sideline to come in. Now Nelson, open lane underneath, good for 2. You cannot leave to Misty Oak. You cannot give her an open lane like that.
And you got to admire her for playing from being banged up earlier on in the season.
Stiles passes back up top. Jazik brings it near side, drives in, puts it up. That's no good off the glass. Powers brings it down for North Greenville. Now we'll head the other way, deep down the court to Nelson. Nelson, a little bit of an open lane off the glass and in from the side. And Mount Olive Going to call a timeout and try and stop this momentum that North Greenville has seized early to start this game. They're up 13-4.
And Coach Arledge has to be quite happy from what she's seen so far with her Lady Crusaders. Haven't missed on many opportunities thus far, just to roughly 5 minutes in. And you really got to like your offensive position, how her Lady Crusaders have been able to go down there and attack against the tall defenders of the Lady Trojans. You got to admire that.
To Misty Nelson already with 6 points, and we're not even 5 minutes into this game.
North Greenville shooting a high percentage.
9 shots attempted, 6 of those made, 66.7%.
That's a good ratio. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, if my math is correct.
Yes. I'll wait for the inbound from Mount Olive. Still waiting for North Greenville to come out of their huddle. This is very important. Of course, every conference game important, but North Greenville down in the conference race. They need this win to stay in the hunt.
Both teams sitting just a tick below 500 in the conference standings with identical 4-6 records in conference play.
Now Mount Olive will get the ball. They'll bring it from left court side to right court side. Number 12 now in the ball game. That's Shalia Buey. Near side. Tries, has a shot blocked. Williams got a piece of it, and she brings a rebound down.
Good job to get a hand extended up in the air by Williams.
Now Powers goes back to Wampler. Wampler on the far side gets it to Powers. Powers trying to find space, drives underneath, gets it out to Hope. Long for 2, that's no good, but she's called for a travel, so it's an offensive turnover. I'll give it to Mount Olive.
Yeah, I believe she did take a little bit of a shuffle step right there, and the official was right there on top of it here on the near side.
Once again, Mount Olive gets it right back, heading the other way. Buey, near side, spins it back up top, trying to drive in, passes back out. Now trying to go underneath to number 20, that's Leah Graham. Now back far side, Jazik goes underneath, number 10, Wallace. Almost lost the ball to Powers, and now Buey will fling a 3, that's no good. Hope losing the ball, bounced on her head, she gets it and passes out to Wampler, North Greenville gets it back. Wampler passes to Nelson. Nelson underneath, in for 2 points, good. And that brings her total 8 tonight.
To Misty Nelson, setting herself apart from the field already.
Now Buey brings it in the front court for Mount Olive, down 11. Only 4 points to show for here in the first 6 minutes. Jazik passes back up top, Graham. Graham bumps into Powers and will spin around for a shot. That's no good. Jazik brings the ball back down for Mount Olive, and they'll have to pass back out and start all over. Now number 23, Rachel Fuel misses wide. And once again, another offensive rebound, and number 10, Ty Wallace, gets it to go in.
Good hustle there by the Lady Trojans to be able to get that second, third, fourth opportunities there on the offensive glass.
So now Hope passes back to Wampler. Wampler trying to get around Buey, passes left side, Hope. Now Williams, she'll fling it for a long 2 off the front of the rim, no good. Powers tries to get the rebound. Nelson knocks it away, and Nelson gets it. Now Nelson gets around 2 Lady Trojans, has it blocked out of bounds. It'll be North Greenville ball.
As we have a few wholesale changes, including for the Lady Crusaders. I believe that's number
32, Cameron Carter.
Yep.
Carter finds Powers on the inbound, far side of the key, brings it in, and a little bit of miscommunication there between her and Hope. And that's going to be a turnover, and they'll give it back to Mount Olive.
I like the idea there by Powers. Have the little drive in, make the 2 defenders collapse, and then pass it right between them to Hope. But Hope had cut back toward the wing instead of toward the right block.
So now File heads near side, cuts it back up top, passes left, has Graham. Scratch that, make that Harris. Now it's with Graham. And the right court side official signals something in.
I believe there's some chirping coming from the end of the Crusaders bench. Not sure what's going on there.
Anyway, Mount Olive will turn it over, and North Greenville get it back. Carter will bring it into front court. Heads up top, has the ball knocked away and out of bounds by File. And so she could not corral it, and North Greenville get it inbounding here on the near side. Hope flips it into Carter. Carter double team, tries to pass to Powers, does so. Powers trying to get around the defense, runs out of bounds, and it's Mount Olive ball. Ran out of real estate.
A little bit of contact there too, but I will say this off that little warning from the official. Not many teams are fortunate to get one like that. Sometimes the officials will go ahead and penalize them with a technical.
So now foul, top of the key. Passes left side, number 22, that is Harris. Now back up top. Now right side, number 14, that's Gabby Griffin. Griffin, nothing doing, passes back up top to File. Now far side, Harris flings it back near side, Griffin. Back up top, File again. Now trying to go underneath. Graham puts it up for 2 points, good. So Mount Olive slowly chipping away at the lead. North Greenville still leads at 15-8. Now Hope passes left side, Nelson. Nelson loses the ball and it's picked up by Mount Olive. Now she gets it back. And Nelson loses it again, keeps it inbounds, has it blocked right into the hands of Johnson. Now trying to get forward to number 22, Harris. Harris one-on-one with Carter, puts it up. And a foul will be called in, and we will finally have our first foul of the ball game for either team.
That foul should be on number 32, Cameron Carter for North Greenville.
That will send Tamara Harris to the free throw line for North Greenville, for Mount Olive. Waiting for some free throws from Harris. Substitutions came on. And makes it. So Mount Olive slowly getting back into it. They're down 6, 15-9.
Powers getting a much-deserved breather along with a couple other Lady Crusaders.
Fast-paced first half here between these two teams. North Greenville still leads it 15-9. Almost 11 minutes left to play. And now Erica Cobb in for North Greenville. She's up top, passes left side to Carter. Carter cuts it back up top, slings it right side to Nelson. Nelson loses the ball. Erica Cobb goes down for it. And Mount Olive strips it away. It's a jump ball is the call. And the possession arrow will give North Greenville the ball back.
North Greenville very fortunate right there. You got to take better care of the basketball.
Also, you've got 8 seconds on the shot clock to work with.
Enough time to get a quick shot. A set shot if you can. That would get your feet set and increase the chances of it going in.
Erica Cobb gets it up top. Addison, free throw line jumper off the rim, no good. Cobb gets the rebound though, but right into the hands of Mount Olive. She lost the ball. Now number 23, File, flings a far side three. That one misses wide. Mount Olive loses it after a valiant attempt by Ty Walls to keep it in bounds, so North Greenville will get it back.
I noticed that Mount Olive's been rushing their shots quite a bit, not taking their time. They're kind of reacting like they're down by double digits instead of single digits right now. Don't need to do that if you're going to stay in a game.
I don't believe they have made a three yet. They have attempted more than a few, but they have not made one. No, they have not. They are 0 for 6 so far from beyond the arc. Now North Greenville trying to find their first points here in a few minutes. Carter near side. She'll try a shot. That's good.
Nice 16-foot jumper there from the left elbow extended.
And that's a good way to get your first point since 14-15 left to play in the first half as we are under 11 minutes. Now Mount Olive trying to go underneath, back to Johnson. Johnson loses the ball. Carter strips it away and picks it up. Now Carter with numbers into front court. Waits for the rest of her team to get there. Carter will try to take it underneath. That's going to be a double dribble.
She did. She switched to her left hand, picked it up, carried it, and then put it back down as she was starting to do a scissors dribble to cut at the free throw line. It happens.
Pretty clean first half so far. Only one foul. It's against North Greenville. Mount Olive still with none. Now near side, number 22, that's Harris. Passing back up top, Jazik. Now far side, number 12, Buey goes underneath to Johnson. They had to pass back out. Now Jazik up top again. Now far side corner, Buey flings a three. That is no good. And Johnson loses the rebound out of bounds. And so North Greenville once again gets it back in the right court end. North Greenville still leading 17-9.
Got Williams checking back in for North Greenville. She got the scoring started tonight with a nice drive to the basket.
Now Wampler gets it in the front court, trying to get around Buey. Does so, slings a hot-handed pass to Hope. Hope somehow picks it up. And we've got a foul from the far court side official, and that might be the first one on Mount Olive, and it is.
Fouls on number 32, Paris Brower.
Scratch that, number 12. They hadn't changed the number yet. Number 12, that is Buey. She picks up her first. Wampler slings it into Cobb, far near side 2. That's no good. Williams for the rebound, though. North Greenville once again gets another offensive rebound. Now back to Hope. Hope and loses the ball out of bounds off her foot.
Yeah, pass came in a little bit low, but that was due in part to the pressure that the Lady Trojans put in, and I believe we have a timeout on the court.
9:57 left to go here in the first half. North Greenville leading 17-9. Take a short break here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Bring back to more action.
Back here at Hayes Gymnasium, 9:57 left in the first half. The North Greenville Lady Crusaders lead the Mount Olive Lady Trojans 17-9. Justin Mathis on color commentary alongside Grace Sutherland, who's running things with play-by-play.
Mount Olive with the basketball. Number 12, Buey up top. Tried to get it far side to Ziacic. Nothing doing. Now they go back to Ziacic. Now back up top, Buey goes underneath number 10. Wallace misses it wide. Johnson on the rebound, though, but contact and a foul called underneath.
Yeah, I like the shot selection there from the free throw line. That's a good mid-range shot. Didn't quite get the bounce she was looking for, but nice effort there by Johnson to go up there and crash the boards and get the foul.
And she makes the first shot. 2 fouls against North Greenville. Number 23, Erica Cobb, picks up her first. Now 2 substitutions to Misty Nelson. She comes back in, as well as number 14, that is Paulette Addison.
So a touchdown lead now for the Lady Crusaders.
And Johnson misses the second shot, but once again, offensive rebound by Wallace. So Mount Olive will get a chance for 2 more. Up top with Buey, slings it right side. Number 22, Harris, flings a 3, and finally the first made 3 of Mount Olive comes, and it couldn't have come at a better time. They cut the lead to 4.
That shot there looked very set, very smooth, unlike a few of their other ones that they've taken.
Now Wampler loses the ball into the hands of, that was number 10, Wallace. Mount Olive with numbers forward, and that shot good by Buey.
Coach Arledge urging her Lady Crusaders on as they cross the midcourt stripe.
Wampler gets it in the front court. Mount Olive suddenly shifting into a very pressed defense. Passes near side to Cobb. Gets it underneath to Williams. Williams trying to find space. Puts it up. Contested. Blocked and brought down by Johnson.
Thought I heard a little smack down there.
Now Ziacic, she'll try a shot. That one goes wide. Wampler knocks it down for North Greenville. 2-on-1 advantage. Now here comes Ziacic. Cobb puts it up. No good. Wampler battles for the rebound. Brought down by Buey. Now forward to number 22. That's Harris. She flings a near side too. That's no good. And Johnson uses a height advantage and gets the rebound. Jump ball will be the call, and it's a possession arrow pointing to Mount Olive.
Big momentum shifting play was that offensive board, so to speak, by the Trojans on the missed free throw. Their Lady Crusader was there inside to box out.
Mount Olive will get it back, or they'll get to keep it. Buey slings it in near side to Ziacic. She'll cut it back up top. trying to find space. Hands off again to number 22, Harris, still on the near side. She'll bring it up top. Passes left. Buey is there, trying to go underneath. Now they pass back up top to Harris. She'll fling a top of the key three off the front of the rim, no good. Powers gets it for North Greenville.
See what North Greenville can do to get momentum back.
Powers goes near side to Wampler. Wampler drives in, trying to spin, and loses the ball to Ziacic. Once again, 2-on-2 advantage. Ziacic gets it in for two and the foul as well.
I believe the foul's either going to be on Wampler or Powers because those are the two defenders in the area. And Mount Olive has gone on a big scoring run, changed things around.
And that one is on Wampler. That is her first. Now Ziacic at the free throw line. And it's off the back of the rim, no good, and Addison brings it down.
Lady Crusaders need a bucket.
Wampler trying to get around number 22, Harris. And contact and a foul called, and North Greenville will get to inbound it on the far court side.
That foul should be on Tamara Harris.
Only the second foul against Mount Olive here in the first half.
5 total. Not bad.
So Wampler gets it in back court, crosses the line into front court. She'll be on the far side. Wampler looking for space, passes up top to Powers. Powers trying to get around File. Now passes near side. Williams fades the defender, puts it up, and that's good from the near side.
Nice up fake. That's one of the fundamentals you're taught. And she used it right there to her advantage.
Now File will drive it right down the middle. Missed the shot though, and Williams gets it for North Greenville. Wampler evades Ziacic, brings it into front court. Now she'll stop for a moment, try to bring it back up top side. Pass to Williams. Will be called dead as we have a foul being called in yet again.
It'll be on Ziacic. Anna Maria Ziacic.
That is her first. 3 team fouls against Mount Olive.
See what the Lady Crusaders have in mind here on this inbound.
Powers bounces it to Wampler. Far side, she'll try for 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Wallace. And jump ball again as Wallace and Williams got tied up. And the alternating possession arrow does point to North Greenville.
I will say that was going to be a very close call by the official. He made it a jump ball, and it could have been a possible reach in.
North Greenville get to keep it. Wampler goes to inbound. Wampler slings it back deep. Nelson brings it down. Nelson, top of the key, trying to get around File. Does so, misses the shot, and another jump ball, and so possession arrow changed off the last jump ball call, so Mount Olive will get it.
Pope will check back in for North Greenville in place of Addison, who will take a break.
Now Stiles, she'll bring it into front court for Mount Olive. Passes far side, Ziacic, they'll go underneath to Johnson. Johnson finds Wallace, can't get the shot to go, catches her own rebound, loses it into the hands of Wampler, and a foul will be called from the far court side official.
Sorry about that, Greg, go ahead.
And that is the 4th one against North Greenville.
I believe they assessed that one to Wampler.
That is her second.
Said she got too much of the arm before she got the ball.
So they'll switch Carter for Wampler. And inbounded to Johnson, gets it for 2 points. Mount Olive ties it up at 19. Now Carter trying to drive in from the far court side, loses the ball off of Johnson. Johnson didn't see that one coming. She would have had a steal if it had been a little softer.
Say caught by surprise.
It's North Greenville fortunate to hang on to it. Inbounded to Williams. Now back out to Carter. Carter trying to get around File. Hands off Powers on the far side. Powers gets around Ziacic. Now gets it to Williams, and another foul. Jump ball is the call, and it's going to be with North Greenville though.
As some coaches like to say, we're back to a 0-0 game for the moment.
Now Erica Cobb, she'll check in. Switch out for Nelson. Carter looking for the inbound. Trying to direct her team around, gets it to Cobb here on the near side. Cobb drives in, passes out to Hope. She'll fling it for two, and it's no good. Johnson gets the rebound for Mount Olive. Gets it forward to Ziacic. Ziacic on the far side, dribbles it to File. File goes underneath to Wallace, and that shot is blocked, and Hope will bring it down and get it off to Carter.
Nice job to send that shot packing by the Lady Crusaders and Williams.
Now Carter heads to the far side. Flips it to Powers. Powers trying to get around number 2, that's Stiles.
I think they got it with a little bit of a hand check.
And that is Stiles' first foul of the game. First half winding down, 5:55 left to play here in the first half. Tied at 19 between North Greenville and Mount Olive. Powers slings it back to Carter. Now back to Powers, still on the far side, goes to Hope. Hope has to bring it out, trying to find help. She'll step in for a long two, that's good.
And Mount Olive was going a little bit with a zone trap right there, and North Greenville able to find an opening and drill a shot.
Stiles passed it for a moment to File. Now they go far side, Ziacic back up top, Stiles. Stiles passes the right side, File. They'll go underneath to Wallace. Wallace gets it to Graham for a moment. Now they'll have to pass back to Stiles. Stiles back up top to Wallace at the free throw line. Flips it out to File, near side three. That's good. Ooh. And Mount Olive now leads 22-21.
First lead of the ball game for the Lady Trojans. They have Big Mo right now.
Carter gets it to Hope. Dangerous pass there. Hope hands it off to Cobb. Cobb has her pass blocked, and it lands in the hands of Ziacic. Now Ziacic will bring it into front court. Drives down the middle, open lane, lays it up and in, good.
See if a timeout might be soon forthcoming, and
there it is. Coach Arledge now trying to stop the bleeding as Mount Olive has gone on a big time run, and they grab the lead 24-21 with 4:47 left to play.
Yeah, what Mount Olive has gone to do is they're running a little bit of a zone cutter play. What they're doing, North Greenville has been in that 2-3 zone the whole, most of the way, except for maybe the first 10 seconds. But what the zone cutter does, you try and find the gaps in the zone and eventually work your way very close to the basket. And that play has been working out very, very nicely the past several possessions for the Lady Trojans.
So let's send it courtside for a moment to Gabby. Gabby, a lot of those turnovers coming on that far side. What have you been able to see out of that?
Well, it seems to me that a lot of the turnovers are caused by the players not being able to box out. Maybe they should be more aggressive under the basket, but I have noticed being near Mount Olive's side that the coach is really passionate about this sport, and she's really getting intense, not really agreeing with all the calls the refs are making, but it does look like they have picked up a lot more on the offensive side.
I think that's about every opposing coach's team, or every opposing team's coach.
If you want a coach to go watch it for entertainment at the D1 level, go watch Mercer's head men's basketball coach. He can get orange in the face, like the jersey color.
I got that.
I saw it in person at USC Upstate one time.
Carter brings it into front court. Once again, heavy pressure by Mount Olive. Now they get it, trying to get it to Williams. Williams passes back to Powers. Powers with File on defense, top of the key. Passes left side, Hope. Now back up top, Powers. Almost another steal there. Back to Hope near side. Goes underneath to Cobb. Cobb loses it, puts up a shot. Good. North Greenville, very much needed basket. Still down by one, though.
North Greenville has found Little Mo. Let's see if they can get Big Mo on their side now.
Ziacic passes back up top, Stiles. Now they go near side, number 23, File. Now back top, Ziacic. Stiles again. File goes to number 20, Graham. Underneath, number 10 gets it in. That is Wallace. And with 4 minutes to go here on WNGR LP 95.5 FM Tigerville.
Very nice.
North Greenville is down 3. Now Williams loses the ball. She gets it back, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Graham. Graham flips it forward to File on the near side. They go underneath to Wallace again for an open lane 2. Mount Olive now up by 5, 28-23.
North Greenville needs a shot, and fast.
Carter, free throw line jumper, that is no good. Once again, Graham on the rebound. Stiles brings it into front court, getting it to File. File drives in from the far side, puts it up, no good. Cobb gets a rebound for North Greenville. Now Williams, one-on-one, loses the ball out of bounds, and that will be back to Mount Olive. Number 10, Wallace with the pressure.
And I believe we have a timeout, or just kidding, thought we did.
Substitution timeout.
The referee pointed toward the scores table, and that's you. Sorry, I'm always used to seeing that sign as, anyway.
Mount Olive gets the ball back. North Greenville getting a lot of pressure from Mount Olive. Ziacic, far side, gets it to Buey now. Back up top to Buey, back far side to Ziacic. She tries to drive underneath. Travel called against Ziacic while trying to pass back to Buey up top.
I believe that's only the second or third traveling call we've seen this whole game. Pretty clean in terms of ball movement.
Now North Greenville down 5, trying to get something to going with 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Carter trying to get it near courtside, passes back right to Powers. Powers double teamed, now spins out of it, cuts it back up top, trying to find space, gets it to Nelson. Nelson flips it to Addison, near side 2, that's good from Addison.
Nice, and she had time to get her feet set, so when she caught the ball, boom. Like it.
Now near side to Harris. Now they go far side, now back up top to Buey. Near side again to Harris. Now they get it underneath to Graham. Graham passes back out for a 3. Near side is no good from number 20. That was Graham. And Powers finally brings it down for North Greenville. A couple of Mount Olive players collide. Powers, she's going to be open for 3. Tries it, no good. And Johnson brings it down for Mount Olive.
She had a little bit of a lane to go down there.
Now Ziacic passes near side. Graham thought about 3, pulled it down. Now with Harris. Harris, free throw line jumper from her. That's no good off the glass. Johnson again gets the rebound. And a foul again will be signaled in.
I believe that's going to be on Addison. We'll see.
15th foul up on the scoreboard for North Greenville, and they put it on number 22. That is Alicia Hope. That is her first.
She was the other Crusader in the area.
And now Johnson, quick flip inbound, rattles in good.
Coach Wendy Lee of Mount Olive urging her players to pick up the intensity.
Carter brings it into front court for North Greenville, top of the key, passes left side of the circle. Powers gets it to the free throw line, and Nelson trying to spin around Johnson, nothing doing. They pass back to Hope. She missed the shot. Nelson brings it back down. Still at the free throw line. She drives in again. Gets triple team, spins out of it. Addison now at the free throw line. She'll try it, and that's no good. And Johnson once again brings it down for Mount Olive.
Mount Olive is having their way right now in the latter part of this first half. They're getting the good looks they want.
And Buey passes it back to Ziacic. They go underneath to Johnson. Johnson flips it up, no good. Nelson brings it down for North Greenville. Now Nelson forward to Carter. Carter steps into a wide 2. That's good.
Right elbow extended. She flip side from earlier in the half.
Final minute of the first half. Buey passes far side, Ziacic. Now they go back up top to Buey. Far side again to Ziacic. Up top again to Buey. Flipping it near side. Harris. Back up top, Buey. Now they go underneath to Johnson. Far side again to Ziacic. She'll drive in. Gets it to number 10. And good for 2 from Wallace. Mount Olive gets the lead back to 5, 32-27. Now Powers on the far side of the circle. Drives in. Now she'll back out. Trying to get around defense. Slings it from court, across court to Nelson. Now Nelson wide open to Addison. Dribbles and lays it up and in. Good for an easy 2.
That's what you call finding the back door.
Shot clock now turned off. Final 20 seconds. Mount Olive slow things down a bit. Try and get one final shot before halftime.
North Greenville still holding true to that 2-3 zone with 10 seconds.
Harris back up top, Buey. Now far side, Ziacic underneath to Wallace. Wallace drives on Addison, puts it in good for 2. 5 seconds. Quick shot for North Greenville. Hope gets it to Carter. 1 second. Carter flings a half-court shot off the rafter. And so that will take us to halftime. North Greenville down to Mount Olive, who used a late first half surge, and they lead it by 5, 34-29. We'll take our halftime break, send it back to studio to Patrick Brown and Alan Ellis. We will also take our halftime break on Ustream. We'll be right back to bring you second half action between North Greenville and Mount Olive here on the North Greenville Sports Network. begins here from Hayes Gymnasium here in Tigerville, South Carolina, on the campus of North Greenville University. And we've got a rather close one. North Greenville down 5 points to Mount Olive, 34-29, and the difference has really been, especially late in the first half, the amount of pressure Mount Olive was able to put on North Greenville and force turnovers. You look at the numbers, Mount Olive 6 turnovers, most of those were early in the first half. North Greenville suddenly began racking up the turnovers, and they are at 10.
Yeah, I tell you what, Gray, that pressure that Mount Olive ramped up on the defense, I think it was after the first media timeout, around the 15, a little after the 15-minute mark, that they really started changing things up in that timeout, and Coach Wendy Lee got her Lady Trojans playing very intense on defense. As here we go in the second half.
And now Mount Olive starts off the second half with the basketball. Ziacic, far side. Pass it around between number 22, Harris, as Stiles fires a three from the top of the key and hits it. So never mind that. Mount Olive starts off with a three.
That's one way to start things.
And they go right back to their pressure defense. Powers on the far side. She'll step into a three. That's short, no good. Johnson on the rebound. She has been a rebounding machine for the Trojans today.
Powers could have driven in.
And number 10 misses a shot. That's Wallace. Johnson once again on another rebound for the Trojans. That one's short. And now Powers finally brings it down for North Greenville. Gets it into front court. Heads to the far side. Spins out and passes back to Wappler. Wappler up top. Now goes near side Hope. She'll fire a near side two. No good. Johnson again rebounds. That's 3 for her in the past 10 seconds.
If I'm Coach Arledge, I might try and ramp up a little half-court trap.
Stiles passes far court side Harris. Now they go back near side Ziacic, and that pass intended for Johnson underneath. Way over her head, and it will be North Greenville ball on that turnover. Speaking of the turnovers earlier, Mount Olive already has 14 points off the turnovers, and that is what enabled them to get that 5-point lead. Wampler, top of the key, drives in, passes far side Hope, fire a three, that is good from her.
Right on cue, Alicia Hope from the corner.
And North Greenville answers Mount Olive, and the lead is back to 5. Now Stiles passes near side to Harris. Now they go far side to Ziacic, bumps into Hope a little bit. Stiles up top. Now Harris near side, and Powers knocks the ball loose. Stiles goes back to get it, and she gets it, and passes far side to Ziacic. Now she'll drive in, put up a shot. That's good for 2 points for Anna Maria Ziacic.
That's one of those shots that you practice over and over again until you can perfect it and get it right. It's hats off to Ziacic.
Now Wampler into front court for North Greenville. Here on the near side, cuts back up top, slings it to Nelson. Nelson drives to the basket, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Wallace. Passes forward to Stiles, now goes near side. Number 22, Harris, fires a three, that's no good. Nelson brings it down for North Greenville with a little bit of room to run. Nelson into front court. Trying to get away from the defense, passes to Williams, her shot's no good. Nelson brings up the rebound, trying to get around defense again, puts up a shot, that's no good. But will draw a foul off of number 10, Ty Wallace.
That's a good job by Nelson, being able to, not being afraid to drive in there amongst the trees as she showed us she could do to start the game. Finally she's trying to get back in that rhythm she was in. I believe she had like something along the lines of 6 of the first 10 points or something like that.
And Nelson makes the first shot. And believe it or not, that is North Greenville's first free throw of this entire ball game. They have 0% from the line because that was their first made one. And Nelson misses a second one, so 1 for 2 on the night for free throws, good for a 50% average. Ziacic, top of the key, passes right side, Stiles. Now they go back near side to Harris. Back up top, Ziacic, far side to Harris, to Stiles. Battle for the rebound underneath. Johnson once again brings it down. Now Stiles will fling a far side three, and that is good.
Good gracious. Stiles followed that shot, and that's why it went in.
Ty Wallace picked up her first foul in that last foul. Now Wampler trying to drive in, loses the ball. Bobbles it, picks it back up, gets it to Nelson. Nelson drives in, slings it out to Hope. Hope on the far side, passes back up top to Wampler. Now Wampler drive in again, has a shot blocked. And the foul will be called in from the right side court official.
That foul is on
Number 22, Tamara Harris. That is her second. So now Wampler will head to the free throw line for North Greenville. Missed the first one.
Number 23, Rachel Bell will check into the game for Mount Olive.
Wampler misses the second one as well. That one rimmed out.
Got to make your freebies.
Nelson knocked the ball away from Ziacic. She has to go back to get it. And it's going to be North Greenville ball. Ziacic let it go out of bounds, but she touched it first.
Good hustle there by Nelson, not letting things come easy for Zacic.
Now North Greenville inbounding from the near court side. Wampler up top, looking for space on File. Heads to the far side, goes underneath to Nelson. Nelson passes out to Williams. Williams on the far side, trying to get around Ziacic. Nothing doing, they'll sling it out to Hope. Near side for two, and that's good from her. 42-35, North Greenville down 7, trying to get back some offensive momentum. Near side File, up top Harris, and far side Ziacic. Stiles back to File here on the near side, and that pass slung way back to Stiles, and Powers will let it roll out of bounds, and it is North Greenville ball. And Mount Olive wants a timeout, try and dial in on some of these mistakes here to open up the second half. We're at a 42-35 advantage for Mount Olive, 16-13 left to play in the ball game.
I'll tell you what, come out of the locker room if you're Coach Olive, you got to do something to get these ladies fired up. They are showing the heart out there. They just can't get a couple shots to the ball, get some good looks. That is crucial.
The Mount Olive shooting percentage is still at 38%, 38.3 to be exact. They have attempted 47 field goals, but made 18 of those.
Wow.
So right now your leading scorer for the Trojans of Mount Olive, you got Ty Wallace leading the way with 12. And you've been hearing Ariel Johnson's name a lot, especially in the rebounding department. That is because she has 15 rebounds so far in this game.
Wow.
Mount Olive definitely a rebounding type team.
Nothing wrong with tag teams. As we get ready to come back out of this timeout.
And Ty Wallace, the leading scorer, just mentioned a moment ago, she has 7 rebounds as well. North Greenville will get the ball, inbounded to Nelson. Nelson at the free throw line. Passes back out, Hope, far side for 3. That's good!
North Greenville right back in this thing.
Down 4, 42-38. File near side. Now back up top, Buey. And on the far side is Stiles. And now they tried to go underneath. Wallace couldn't bring it down. Falls into the hands of Buey. And Buey is called for a travel at the free throw line.
Yes, as she started to, she had already established a pivot foot before she took the dribble. And then she tried to do a little spin move without a dribble. So you can't do that in the game of basketball.
Now Wampler bring it in the front court for North Greenville. Gets it forward to Nelson. Nelson will drive in, lob it up. That's no good. And Wallace brings it down for Mount Olive. Buey gets it back to Stiles. Far side to File. She'll fling a 3, and that is no good. Powers brings it down for North Greenville.
Good defense.
Gets it forward to Wampler. Wampler near side corner. Alicia Hope. She'll try for 3 again. That is no good. Johnson, her 16th rebound tonight.
Wow. That's amazing.
Now far side. Buey gets it back to Stiles. Stiles goes near side to File. Back up top, Stiles. And far side again to Buey. Trying to go underneath. They get it to Johnson, and Johnson has 2 more points.
They're able to get there behind the post defense and lay it up and in. Very good.
44-38 is the advantage
on that zone cutter play.
Nelson at the free throw line, slings it out to Williams on the far side, trying to bring it in, has a shot blocked right into the hands of Johnson. Now they get it forward to Stiles. North Greenville with numbers forward though, and Mount Oliveville slow things down and reset.
North Greenville going with more of a man-to-man defense this time around in the second half.
Styles up top for Mount Olive, slings it left side to File. File trying to get around Wampler, passes left side again to Buey. Buey will bring it back up top, pass left side of the circle again to File, back up top Styles. Now trying to go underneath to Johnson, trying to get it to number 10, Wallace. 3 on the shot clock, puts it up and in, good with 1 second left.
Mount Olive worked the shot clock down and almost missed out on an opportunity, but an opening came up.
And Wampler to Nelson at the free throw line. Nelson trying to spin around, gets it to Hope. She'll try near side for 2, short, no good. Battle for the rebound between Johnson and Williams. Johnson wins that battle for her 17th one. Buey up top, backs out, now passes left side File. Now back up top to Buey, slings it far side to Styles. Back up top, now near side File goes underneath to Johnson. Johnson back out to Styles, flings it for 3, that's good. For actually number 12, Shilea Buey.
For the most part, Mount Olive here in the second half is taking more relaxed set shots, unlike the first half where they were taking more of a rush type shot.
Williams on the far side, gets it to Wampler. Wampler gets it back to Williams, tries far side for 2, that is good.
North Greenville back within single digits.
Styles to File, now back to Styles. Styles heads to the far side, slings it to Buey. Now they go back left side File, back up top Styles. And right side.
3 seconds in the lane.
That'll be an offensive turnover, and North Greenville will get the ball back. 13:09 left to go in the ball game. First media timeout is finally upon us. North Greenville is down 9, 49 to 40. And so, Gabby, we'll send it down to you for a bit. North Greenville down 9. They're hanging on to this ball game.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, they really are. It seems like Mount Olive has really picked up and totally blown me away. I had no idea that they were going to surpass us at this point in the game. At first, the coach was extremely upset with her girls, just continuing to yell that they needed to stop taking three-point shots if there was no post down low, but it looks like they really took their coach's advice, and she seems to be really happy with the team's progress.
And the coach for Mount Olive, head coach Wendy Lee, assisted by Jessica Moore and Irvin Murray.
Tell you what, these Lady Trojans have showed why they're nationally ranked, that's for sure. They didn't quite show it in the early part of that first half, but after that
the women are not nationally ranked, the men are. Mount Olive is 6-10, 4-6 in the Conference Carolinas. But since you mentioned that, Justin, the next game coming up does feature a nationally ranked team, the Mount Olive men, number 18 versus North Greenville, as North Greenville looks to go for the upset and take down the number 2 team right now in standings in the conference.
You know what, Gray? Don't you hate it sometimes when you get ahead of yourself?
Sometimes.
Okay, just making sure.
North Greenville with the basketball, down 9, trying to get something going. Wampler goes underneath to Hope at the free throw line. She'll spin around, fling it in, good.
Free throw line jumper is always a good go-to if you can get it.
Now left side to File, back up top to Buey. Now back left side File, back up top Styles. Powers almost knocked that one away. Lots of heavy passing for this Trojan team. And number 10, Wallace gets it to roll in, good.
That would be equivalent of a football equivalent of an up-tempo offense right there that they just did.
Now Wampler, top of the key, heads to the far side. Looking for help, gets it to Hope. Hope trying to find help underneath. Wampler, far side, flings a high arcing 3 that rattles in.
North Greenville was in 2 possessions.
Still plenty of time left to go, approaching 12 minutes to play. File left side, Buey up top, and number 22 Harris on the far side. Now back to File, back up top, Buey. Right side Harris for a moment, now trying to go underneath, spin around shot for Buey, that's no good. Battle for the rebound, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by number 20, Leah Graham.
Thought it might have gone off the fingertips of a Lady Crusader, but the official there on the baseline has a better angle than we do, Grant.
Another clean second half. Neither team managed to reach the bonus in the first half, even though they got up to, I believe it was 5 fouls apiece. Mount Olive has the only 2 fouls here in the second half. And both of those are on number 22, Tamara Harris. Wampler on the near side. Now brings it back up top, passes Powers, far side for three. That's no good. Battle for the rebound once again, brought down by Johnson. We'll get it forward to number 12, Shalia Buey. And they go far side again to Harris. Back up top, Buey, near side, Ziacic. Now back up top, Buey. Buey trying to look for Johnson. She'll step in, fling a far three. That's no good. Ziacic battles for the rebound, gets it, and in for 2 points is Wallace.
That's what quick passing can do if you know where your teammates are going to be.
Now Wampler, near side corner, knocked out of bounds by Johnson, intended for Cobb.
Lady Crusaders have got to keep fighting there on the offensive board. Yes, they have some size, but you got to keep fighting. You can't give up in that aspect of the game.
North Greenville will get to keep it inbound to Wampler. Wampler hands off to Cobb here on the near side. Cobb trying to cut it up top. And pass intended for Alicia Hope, kept inbounds by Powers. Nope, they'll mark her out. And so it's a turnover to Mount Olive.
Yeah, Powers needed about 3 more inches of real estate there on the far sideline to be able to keep that pass in bounds.
Mount Olive with 36 total rebounds on the night, and Johnson has 19 of those. As Hope does a good job of keeping the ball in bounds. Turnover goes against Mount Olive. Now Wampler to front court, top of the key. She drives in, slings it, Hope on the far side. She'll drive in, lob it up for 2. That's no good. And number 10, Wallace brings it down. Powers steals it though, and passes back up top to Addison. Hand off to Cobb. Cobb steps in, far side for 2. That's no good. And Powers cannot keep it in bound. Hope tried to help her, and both of them fall out of bounds. And once again, it's back to Mount Olive.
Both of them had the same idea, but here's the downside to that. Neither of them, I don't believe, called the other off. Great effort out there on the hustle play, but just didn't quite communicate well to call one or the other off.
Now Mount Olive with the ball. They lead at 53-45, almost halfway through the second half. And now Wallace has a shot blocked by Addison. She'll scoop up the loose ball and fake the handoff to Hope and pass forward to Carter instead. Carter, top of the key, trying to get around Ziacic. Lobs up a shot. That's short, no good. Battle for the rebound, brought down by Johnson. And that is her 20th of the night, if you're keeping track.
And she is just shy of a double-double, if I'm not mistaken.
And she does have, I believe, 8 points as well.
Yeah, 8 or 9 points. She's stuck in single digits there.
Now trying to go underneath to Johnson. She has to pass back up top. Now near side, number 22, Harris flings a 3. No good off the back of the rim. And battle for the rebound. Kept inbounds by Carter for North Greenville. Now under 10 minutes to play, North Greenville trying to get some more offensive momentum back going. Cobb near side, passes back up top, Carter.
Carter's got the 5-second count, better do something.
Passes to Powers. Powers trying to drive in. Dribbles, loses the ball, passes to Addison, and is called for a travel instead.
Yeah, she couldn't quite get rid of the ball in time before she took that extra step, and I believe we have a timeout on the floor.
Ariel Johnson does have 9 points, 20 rebounds. Ty Wallace has 9, and Ziacic has 5 for the Trojans. Looking over at North Greenville, you've got Alicia Hope now leading the way with 12 points. Misty Nelson with 9, and Courtney Williams sits at 8. Story of this game really so far has been the rebounds, and Mount Olive very much alive in that category, 39 to North Greenville's 28, and they have 15 offensive rebounds to their credit.
Wow. Solid numbers right there. What other stats we got?
Meanwhile, the turnover battle has evened up. Mount Olive only ahead by 1 in that category, 13 to North Greenville's 12. And neither team, North Greenville has not scored since 12:25 left to go in the second half. We sit at 9:16 now. Mount Olive has not scored since 11:24.
As we hope everybody out there watching on Ustream and listening on the radio side via WNGR Radio 95.5 The Vibe has had a great Monday celebrating the Martin Luther King Jr. and what a great person he was and what he did for society.
Just civil rights in general.
Yes, and how he did it through peaceful actions instead of violence.
Meanwhile, we still have business to settle on the court. Approaching the final 9 minutes to go. North Greenville is down 45-53 to Mount Olive. It's a battle for positioning for the Conference Carolinas tournament in March. Styles up top with the basketball in control for the Trojans. Looking for help, passes right side, File. Now back up top, Styles, near side, Ziacic. Back up top, Styles. File again on the far side. They like to do this, pass around and then sling it underneath. And another lane violation, that time against Johnson.
Lady Crusaders still have some chances ahead of them.
So now Carter brings it into front court, heads to the far side. Waits for a moment, drives in, and she'll pass out to Cobb. Jump ball, as Mount Olive had a hand on it. I believe that was Ziacic. The possession now does point to North Greenville, so they'll get it back and inbound at their end. Carter once again looking for the inbound, slings it out to Cobb, near side. She'll try for two. That's good.
Very smooth jump shot there by Cobb. Come off the curl on the screen to the far corner on the baseline. Had time to set her feet and take a smooth shot.
Last week against Erskine, last Thursday to be more specific, she was really making that shot. Now underneath to Johnson. Double team, passes out of it, File, flings a three from the far side. That is no good, and rebounded by Wallace. She'll try for two and get it.
And as soon as North Greenville got 2 points back, they have them taken right back away.
Carter once again in the front court. She'll head again towards the scorer's table. Now she'll try to bring it in, cuts it up top, hands off near side to Cobb. Cobb heads top side. Now trying to get around Styles, passes to Williams. Williams on the far side, looking for help, gets it to Carter. Near side for three, that is good.
That teased us for a little bit, Greg. I call that a jack-in-the-box three. Why? Because it came in, went down, came up, and went back in.
Now 7.5 minutes. North Greenville another well-needed three, down 5, 55-50. Styles, Ziacic on the far side, underneath. And once again, lane violation again going against the Trojans.
And Coach Lee not real happy with one of her players, letting her know to move around. You can only stand 2 seconds in the lane, not 3.
Now Carter once again. See if North Greenville can get even closer. Carter gets it to Williams. Williams flings a far side too. That's good.
North Greenville, one possession away from tying this thing up potentially.
Approaching the final 7 minutes. Now File, far side, back up top Styles. Ziacic goes back to Styles, back to File. Back to Styles up top. Gets it Ziacic. They try to go underneath. Wallace loses the ball. And waiting for a call. They will dial up a foul against North Greenville.
Believe that foul was right there on the ball. Believe they're going to get Williams there for North Greenville, and they do.
As her first.
Team second of the half. Or team first of the half, pardon me.
Really clean game for both teams. Neither team into the bonus. And it doesn't look like we may have that. Now Styles will fling a far near side three and airball it over the net. And so it'll go back to North Greenville.
You'll have those.
So North Greenville down 3, under 7 to play. Carter into front court. Drives in, lobs up a shot, and that's good! And Johnson actually helped Carter because if she didn't get a hand on it, Carter doesn't make that.
And she got a nice high screen there from Williams off the left elbow extended to get to the free throw line.
North Greenville down 1. Now Ziacic will drive in, lob it up. It's short. Johnson with the tip back, no good. Nelson rebounds. North Greenville with a chance to take the lead. Nelson pulls up short. Now she'll try to drive in. Pass out to Cobb near side for 2 points. That's no good. Battle for the rebound. Lost out of bounds off the hand of Williams.
And notice Mount Olive is now taking some rush shots, Gray.
And once again, that's what they were doing early in the first half.
Yeah, and now they've been taken out of the rhythm a little bit, and they're showing it. And if you're North Greenville, that has to make you feel a little bit better and give you some more confidence. Now that you've made your last few shots down in a row on the opposite end.
Mount Olive back in control with the basketball. Still up 1 point. Ziacic on the far side, trying to go underneath to Johnson. Hope knocks it loose. Nelson picks it up. Now Nelson will bring it again into front court. Under 6 minutes to play. Carter near side. Slings it to Hope. Hope gets it back to Carter. She'll step in for three, and that's good!
Nice three by Carter. Had a nice line of sight, never took her eyes off the goal.
And North Greenville retakes the lead. And Mount Olive takes a timeout, try and figure out what's going on. North Greenville leads at 57-55. 5:34 left to go. Let's send it down to Gabby for a quick word or two. Gabby, really nice rally here by North Greenville late in the second half.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Might I just add that the Lady Crusaders shoes are just so adorable, just a pop of color, and that is exactly what they just did. They popped right back into the game. For a minute there, I was seeing a lot of low energy from our Crusaders, and 34 has been just setting some really good picks. I don't know. It looks like we're coming back.
Very good, Gabby. We appreciate your contributions and look forward to more of them throughout the night, as we have another game coming up after this one, both here on Ustream and on WNGR Radio, as we're back to play with 5.5 to go.
That was such a good analogy. I don't know how you follow up on that. We'll follow up with more basketball. File on the far side, steps into a three, and that's good. And so Mount Olive suddenly seizing some momentum right back, 58-57.
This game a long way from over.
Now to Powers on the far side. She checked in after that last timeout. Gets it to Nelson, still in the far side corner. Goes to Hope. Baseline jumper is good.
Good job. That's about a 12-footer or thereabouts by Hope. Nice vision by Nelson.
Now we're under 5 to play. Number 22, Harris, gets it back to Buey. Buey looking for help underneath. Finds Wallace. Wallace trying to get it to Graham. Puts it up. Shots blocked. And Nelson slings it into the hands of Powers.
Lady Trojans fans are leaping up and discuss wanting a foul call. And there was a little bit of contact. I will give them that.
Powers near side trying to get around Graham. Powers drives in and turns the ball over right into the hands of Buey.
And then she's fouled, I believe, by Hope.
That's only the second foul against North Greenville in the second half. Evens the team foul count up at 2.
We have a timeout on the floor.
Now right back to the third and final media timeout. 4:30 left to go. North Greenville up 1, 59-58, but Mount Olive will have possession of the basketball.
And I need to make one correction to something I said ill-advisedly, if that's even a word. I believe at the top of the second half, I said nationally ranked. I was referring to the men's game. That's where I was referring. Don't you hate it when you get ahead of yourself? You'll have those moments.
3 Lady Crusaders into double digits scoring-wise. Alicia Hope leads the way with 14. Cameron Carter now has 12. And Courtney Williams sits at 10 to Misty Nelson 1 point away from double digits at 9. Meanwhile, looking at Mount Olive, still leading the way, Ty Wallace with 20 points, 10 for 17 on field goals. And the story of the night, Mount Olive at the end of the first half, Ariel Johnson, a rebounding machine for the Trojans, sits at 20 rebounds. Right now, she still has 9 total points, though.
Gray's second chance points in the favor of the Lady Trojans, 19-3.
No surprise there with the way Johnson's been able to rebound this game. So final 4.5 to play. 1 point separates these teams. North Greenville on top, 4 now. File passes back to number 22, Harris. Harris backs out for a moment, still on the far side. We'll hand off to Buey instead. Buey trying to bring it top side. Nothing doing there. Hands off to Graham. Graham drives far side for 2. Good, and she's fouled.
There was a little contact, but I don't believe there was enough to warrant a foul. I don't know about that one.
Nonetheless, it will send number 20, Leah Graham, to the free throw line. Alicia Hope picks up her 3rd foul. Wait for the and one, and it is good. Now Mount Olive back up to 61-59. Now Olive back up top by 2. North Greenville still with some work to do. Carter gets it into front court, passes far side to Powers. Almost another turnover there by North Greenville. Powers trying to get around Harris. Lobs it to Hope. Hope, top of the key, gives it back to Powers. Thought about a deep three there for a moment. Hope bobbles the ball, gets it back, flings it near side Carter. She'll try for three. That is no good. And rebounded by, that is number 10, Wallace. Now passing forward to File. Now going number 22, Harris. Harris will spin out of the defensive pressure. On the far side, pass back to Wallace, and we'll start this game, and we'll start over again. Now back to number 22, Harris on the far side. Back up top, Buey. Near side, File. And now to number 10, Wallace. Wallace will cut it back top side. Pass number 22, Harris. Now File on the far side. Under 10 on the shot clock. Back up top. Buey is there again, trying to go underneath of Johnson. Johnson passes out near side. Harris, 2 on the shot clock. Lobs up a shot. Good.
And that's what you call making it at the horn.
Desperation heave by Harris goes in. And now Mount Olive, 63-59, they lead it.
Have a Lady Crusader getting set to check in at the next dead ball.
Powers gets it back. Carter on the near side. She tries to drive in, gets a shot to not go in over Johnson, and again rebounded by Mount Olive. And Nelson will end up fouling number 12. That is Buey.
And Nelson, that was a little bit of a foul as she came down at the same time the other person did, trying to fight for the rebound, and the other person happened to trip over her.
Nelson's first foul of the ball game, only 4 against North Greenville. Mount Olive sits at 2. Still some fouls to give either way. File near side, passing to, that is number 10, Wallace, trying to go underneath. Johnson falls down, still no call. Ball still on loose on the ground. And jump ball is the call, and it's given to Mount Olive.
2.5 to go, that's a big play. As we see Trojans inbounding on the baseline.
File looking for some assistance, slinging it inbounds to number 22, Harris. Now near side. Buey cuts it back up top, getting it underneath. Wallace trying to go back to Johnson, fight with Nelson for the ball, and another foul called.
And that's going to be assessed to Johnson. She had all arm and some of the shoulder to Misty Nelson, as Nelson intercepted the inlet pass to the left block.
Only the 3rd foul against Mount Olive, so just inbounding for now. Wampler picks up the inbound from Hope, gets it into front court, passing it back to Powers. Powers on the far side now, gets it back to Wampler. Wampler with some room down the middle, drives, dishes out to Hope, near side, she'll try for 3. That is good off the glass.
Bank is open after hours, Gray.
Boy, I'll say that. That was a beautiful bank shot. Final 2 minutes to play. North Greenville down 1, 63-62.
And I'm not going to ask if she called bank.
Now near side, number 12, Buey. Ball knocked away. Hope picks it up. Hands off to Wampler. Gets it into front court. Heads far side. Back to Powers. Powers up top. Now heads to the near side. Trying to get around the defense. Tries to drive in. Now backs out again. Still on the near side. Goes to Nelson. Nelson will drive in now. Sling it out. Hope. Far side for 3. That is no good. But Powers is there to bring the ball down. It did not touch the rim. 5 seconds on the clock. Powers to Nelson. Nelson loses the ball. Dives for it. And it's in the hands of Wallace. Turnover Mount Olive before the shot clock expired. Approaching the final minute. North Greenville still down 1. Powers chasing after Buey. And Buey finally passes left side to File. Now back to Buey up top. Now left side again to File. She'll cut it back up top. Pass to Harris. Now to 10, Wallace. 10 seconds on the shot clock for her. Gets it again to Buey. Now near side, number 22, Harris. Goes cross court, 3 seconds. And a deep heave is no good by File, but another offensive rebound by Mount Olive. Number 22, Harris. So now shot clock reset. They can bring it down to 13 seconds left.
When a shot goes up, you have to find somebody, put a body on them, and box out.
And Nelson knocked the ball away from File. Powers into front court. Drives to the basket and is fouled. Not often you see Powers try to go underneath, but drew some contact and the foul.
Great idea by Powers. And now let's see if it'll pay off at the charity stripe. I believe North Greenville has only taken about 4 free throws tonight.
And they are only 1 for 4 from the line.
You'd like to improve on that.
Powers has not attempted a free throw. Here's her first one. It rims out, no good.
Only potential to tie it now. No shot clock now.
Shot clock is turned off.
Lady Crusaders be ready to crash the boards.
Second one is up. That one is good, and we are tied at 63.
Coach Arledge calls a 30-second timeout.
28.2 seconds left. No more shot clock.
Only timeouts.
So in this situation, in that last foul put on Shilea Buey, that is her second, 14,000 apiece for either team. We got 28.2 left, tied at 63. Mount Olive will have the ball and the potential for a final game-winning shot. But once again, you have to make that shot.
Yeah, if you're North Greenville, what you have to do, you have to play it clean on defense. You cannot foul unless you feel that you want to play that kind of a risk game with the fouling and playing the odds against at the foul line. Mount Olive, what are they shooting at the foul line?
3 of 6.
3 of 6, 50%.
Just going up, just looking at something else. There is one player from Mount Olive that does have a double-double, and it is not Johnson. It is Ty Wallace. 20 points, 12 rebounds for her.
I bet Wallace will ask Johnson after the game, hey, just switch the rebound totals to me. That will have an even 20-20.
Combined, they have 32 of the team's total 44 rebounds.
And 28.2 seconds left here on WNGR LP 95.5 FM Tigerville on the radio side and here on the website on Ustream. Thank you for joining us for this Conference Carolinas doubleheader.
So Mount Olive, one last chance possibly upcoming. Under 25 seconds for File. Now she'll pass forward to Ziacic. Ziacic double teamed immediately and will pass out of it. Far side to number 22, Harris. 15 seconds. Now back to Ziacic up top. 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Passing far side, Wallace. Hands off to Johnson. 6 seconds. Johnson goes near side. Number 22, Harris. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Ziacic drives in. Will have to heave up. Not in time.
And we're going to have extra session.
Tied at 63. The scoreboard clock shows triple zeros, and we are going to have to head to overtime.
Think we need to step aside for a short breather, or do you want to sit it down courtside together?
Let's step aside for a very, very quick break.
Here on Ustream and on the radio side on WNGR Radio. We'll be right back with overtime right after this.
With a final second shot, but missed it off the hands of Ziacic, and we are headed to overtime.
Yeah, they lost they lost track of the clock there within the last 10 seconds. Trying to get a good look, had a chance, and just held it for too long.
And Johnson tips it right into the hands of Nelson for North Greenville. So North Greenville get the first possession of overtime. Wampler in the front court, drives in, passes far side Williams, steps in for a deep two, no good. And Ziacic will lose the ball out of bounds off of herself.
She didn't think so, but
North Greenville got to keep it. Hope inbounds to Williams, pass back up top Wampler. Wampler trying to go near side, goes far side instead, trying to get help down the middle. Pass back out to Power, steps into a deep three. That is good!
Been waiting, haven't called that in a long time since the early first half of this game.
Wow, Powers puts North Greenville up by 3.
That's big.
Now Ziacic back to File up top. File passing far side again to Wallace. Now Wallace gives it back to Johnson. Johnson back to File, still on the far side. Back to Ziacic up top, near side again to Harris. Now trying to go underneath again, nothing doing. File still on the far side with Powers on defense. Hands off to Ziacic again. Now back up top, File. 5 on the shot clock, drives in, lobs up a shot, no good. Battle for the rebound, brought down by Johnson. Loose ball though, right into the hands of number 10, Wallace. And I think we are gonna have they need to rewind the shot clock. That shot did hit the rim. They're gonna have to stop time for that.
I think they're gonna try and reset the game clock too.
They will have to do that as well.
I think it'll be right. Okay, they let 2 seconds roll off. Okay, on the shot clock. Now we're good.
Mount Olive will inbound it here from the near side. Under 4 minutes to play in overtime. Now try to go underneath to Johnson, loses the ball again, and jump ball between her and Powers. That will stay with Mount Olive.
Good hustle there by Powers. Coach Wendy Lee of Mount Olive thought there was a reach-in foul. But the Powers did get in there and grab the ball before she made contact with Johnson's arm. It was like a very good hustle play. I like it.
Once again, inbounded to File, top of the key, going underneath. Number 10, that's Wallace. Now far side for 3 is no good. Right into the hands of Ziacic. He has to dribble and gets out of it. Now hands off again to Harris. Harris will back out. 7 on the shot clock, passes to File. File, top of the key, goes far side to Ziacic. She heaves a shot. It's no good.
And Ziacic with a frustration foul right there against Powers. Tell you what, when Ziacic was there on the low block, she started swinging those elbows a little bit. She's got to be careful with that, because some referees will not let that go.
15th foul against Mount Olive. North Greenville sits at 4. That's our foul count for tonight's game. Wampler gets the inbound, gets it in the front court. North Greenville up 3, 66-63. Wampler brings it in, hands off to Hope, drives in, and Johnson blocks the shot out of bounds. Shot a block up to her total.
Johnson said try again. That was nice. I'm not going to lie.
North Greenville gets to keep the ball up there on end. 3:19 to play in overtime. First period of overtime. Wampler goes deep to Hope. Hope steps into a 3, and that is good!
Nelson checked out on that last dead ball. Cobb came in for her with North Greenville, I might add.
69-63, North Greenville leads it off that Hope three-pointer. Now Stiles in the front court, top of the key. Looking to go right, does so to Harris. Harris back to Stiles, now on the near side. Now back far side to Harris again. Far side corner and File. File, no room there. Passes back to number 22, Harris. Now back to File. Under 10 on the shot clock. Harris heaves a deep 3. No good. Battle for the rebound. Lost into the hands of Wampler for North Greenville. Under 3 minutes to play.
Got to put your foot on the gas right here if you're North Greenville.
Wampler trying to get around Stiles. Now Wampler up top. Heading near side. Still trying to get underneath. Ball's lost, and she gets it back. And Coach Arledge quick to call a timeout. Heads up play by Wampler, and North Greenville will retain possession.
That should leave North Greenville with, I believe, 2 timeouts remaining, because they did take 1 in the first half, plus the 2 in the second half, and now 1 in overtime. Wait. Yes.
2:27 left to go here in the first period of overtime between Mount Olive and North Greenville. North Greenville up by 6, 69-63, off of a three-pointer from Tyler Powers and Alicia Hope. Wait and see what the rest of this game holds.
And good job by Alex keeping us straight here on the video side. With the timeout situation, each team had 5 because of how regulation, if you go into overtime, you get 1. It's like a bonus. So, like we get a bonus session of basketball.
North Greenville gets to keep possession. Nelson inbound, knocked up by number 12, Buey, and brought down by Wampler. Hands it right back to Nelson, and Nelson loses the ball off of number 10, Wallace, out of bounds. So another lucky break North Greenville will get with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Coach Arledge signaling into her team that is the case. Now inbounded to Williams. Wampler driving in, puts up a shot, and that is no good, but she will be fouled at the free throw line.
And let's see who the foul is on. It'll be on.
They're putting it up now. Wampler makes the first shot. 16 fouls against Mount Olive, and that is on Wallace. That is her second. And 2 for 2 on that trip. That is well needed for North Greenville. They lead at 71-63. Still 2 minutes left in this overtime, though. Now Johnson wide open in the middle for 2. That's good.
And she has her double-double for the night.
71-65. Mount Olive back within 6. 2 minutes to play. Wampler, top of the key. No more fouls for Mount Olive to spare. One more that puts North Greenville in the bonus. Powers, right wing, cuts it back to the middle. And gets it back to Wampler. Wampler, free throw line jumper up. Good! Wow.
Nice patience by North Greenville, finding an open look they like. And it paid dividends right there.
Now the pressure on Mount Olive. Number 12, Buey, front court, passes back up top. Wallace now near side. Harris trying to find space, gets it to File. Minute and a half to play, goes underneath. Wallace again, now far side, number 12, Buey. Goes cross court to number 22, Harris. Harris drives in, nothing doing underneath, backs out, gets it to File. Flings a deep 3, is good.
Yeah, right, a big three-pointer for Mount Olive by File. They needed that.
73-68 as we approach the final minute. Wampler slowly in the front court, trying to chew some clock. Now Wampler will drive in, get it to Williams, wide open for 2 points and good. And time is called, 59.5 seconds left. And see, I think North Greenville did get a timeout. Yes, that is the case. 75-68, North Greenville leads it by 7 here.
I think if North Greenville can get another make shot for Mount Olive, that can put this game out of reach for good.
So Gabby, North Greenville up 7, 75-68. Really impressive here in overtime as well. What do you think?
Really, all I've been seeing is Tyler Powers. Wow, she has brought so much excitement to this game. She is the leading offensive player for the Lady Crusaders, just taking so many chances and making so many of her three-point shots.
Tyler Powers normally the deep threat for this Lady Crusader team, 2 for 5 from beyond the arc.
And I believe we're going to hopefully be able to get a word with Coach Arledge after this game. So.
Now number 12, Buey gives it to number 22, Harris. Far side File, she'll try again and misses off the rim. Wampler gets the rebound. Trying to keep control of the ball, and we have a foul. That gets number 12, Shalia Buey.
A little bit of a light takedown.
And it took until overtime, but one team has finally reached the bonus. North Greenville gets there. Mount Olive with 17 fouls.
And I have a feeling the game coming up after this, Gray, we're going to see another up-tempo battle.
Wampler at the free throw line. First shot's up. That one's good. Not many free throws attempted for this Lady Crusader team, but making them count when they get them.
North Greenville, nobody there to rebound.
And Wampler 2 for 2 on that trip again. 77-68. North Greenville leads it. 45 seconds left to play. And now Buey drives in, wide open in for 2 points. Good. 77-70, and
we got a foul there by Buey as she was all over Emily Wampler on the inbounds as she was trying to cut to get open for it.
And that is her fourth.
That was like a full bear hug there. In all seriousness.
So Wampler right back to the free throw line. She had just went 2 for 2 on her last trip. And so far she is 4 of 6. And make that 5 of 7. That's her 10th point of the night. She joins Alicia Hope with 20, Courtney Williams with 12, and Cameron Carter with 12.
Nice balanced contributions.
And once again, 2 for 2 on that trip. 37 seconds left to play. File on the far side. North Greenville leads it by 9, 79-70. Underneath to Wallace, puts it up and in for 2 points, good. North Greenville once again tries to get an inbound. Hope fires it to Wampler, and Wampler once again fouled by number 22 that time, and that is Harris.
Coach Arledge still coaching up her Lady Crusaders. I believe she was yelling some instruction and encouragement to Courtney Williams there in the front court. I think something to do with a possible screen opportunity, but hey, so far so good for Lady Crusaders. Hang on for 29 more seconds.
Back-to-back trips, and Wampler actually makes that free throw. Wow. Fancy ball work there.
Got the home bounce. We'll call it that.
Interesting bounce indeed. North Greenville now 80-72. And once again, another 2-for-2 trip for Wampler. Puts North Greenville back up 9. Now File, far side, trying again for 3. She's got it. Impressive effort by Mount Olive late, and Nelson now will be fouled by File. 22.7 seconds left.
Gotta love the old cat mouse game.
And that is File's first foul, as North Greenville now is in the double bonus for tonight's game.
Great, looking across the way, see some of our dignitaries from North Greenville, like Dr. Pinnell, who's the interim spokesperson for the president.
Another first shot.
So it's glad. I like seeing some of our other people come out and support our student athletes. That does my heart some good. See that.
Trying to get an 83-75 advantage. Nelson misses the second shot. He'll stay at 82. 20 seconds left for Mount Olive. File into front court. Top of the key. Gives it off number 12, Buey. Trying to get around Wampler. Steps back for 3, and that is in and good. And suddenly Mount Olive is hitting about every shot they possibly can. Hope gets it to Wampler, and Wampler's fouled, and that it will be on Buey. That should be her 5th and final one for this ball game. And it is.
And that is all she wrote. The book is closed on Buey.
She finishes tonight 4 of 8 for field goals, 2 for 5 on from three-point land, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 10 total points. So Emily Wampler right back at the free throw line. She had 3 trips, and she is 8 for 10 on free throws.
Had number 14, Gabby Griffin, check in for Mount Olive.
And Wampler can't get that one to fall in. Still a 4-point advantage. The way Mount Olive has been making threes lately, you gotta feel a little nervous.
And who could blame you?
Wampler does make the second one, so a little bit of breathing room. That's 5 points.
A timeout, I believe, called by Mount Olive. Let's see here. Or not.
Looks like they'll get back for the inbound. Mount Olive a little too quick to try and get things rolling. And Stiles scoops it up finally into front court. 9 seconds left. Stiles, far side. Wampler goes down hard, and an offensive foul or turnover against Mount Olive. That's costly for them.
That could prove to be the nail in the coffin, Gray.
And that is Wallace's 3rd foul. North Greenville gets the inbound to Wampler, and 6.2 seconds left. File again fouls Wampler, and Wampler very busy here in overtime.
I'll tell you what an outstanding effort by both teams in this game on this beautiful Monday night here in Tigerville.
Wampler 9 for 12, looking to add to that. 10 for 13. Two for 2 on that trip. Wampler makes both of them. 3 seconds left for Mount Olive. File with powers on defense, loses the ball. Last second heave does not go in. And so Emily Wampler leads Lady Crusaders in overtime, and North Greenville escapes with a win over Mount Olive. And that will definitely, most certainly, help them in the conference race. North Greenville 6 and 11 overall, but more importantly, 5 and 6 in the conference. Meanwhile, Mount Olive falls to the same record, 6 and 11 overall, 4 and 7 in the conference.
And I mean, good gracious, you hate that one team had to lose this ball game, but in the end, the Lady Crusaders come out on top. It was an outstanding Conference Carolinas women's showdown, as both teams played like they were more closer to the top than what they were of the standings.
So a hard-fought win for North Greenville tonight. The women come away victorious 85-78 over Mount Olive. And we'll step away while they set up for the men's game between North Greenville and nationally ranked number 18, Mount Olive, 15-2 overall, number 2 team in the Conference Carolinas. So definitely an uphill battle for North Greenville. Like I said, we will step away. North Greenville victorious in the first game, 85-78 here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Stay with us. We will be right back. I'd also like to mention the Ustream service will also go offline for just a bit, but both of us will be right back to broadcast the men's game.